It's Luke and Naomi.
Welcome back. Welcome to episode 63. It's been a mo. It's been a moment.
A moment.
It has been a minute. Luke and Naomi are back, right?
Yes,
back and better
we're
than
here.
ever. Episode 63 got a really, really good one. I don't know why I associate The Wizard of Oz and Thanksgiving. I think it was because it was always on during Thanksgiving break.
Okay.
But that's kind of why I pushed us towards doing the Return to Oz review.
Yes.
Also, because you just had to experience that friggin' movie at some point in your life.
That's one way to put it.
That is one way,
yeah.
right?
You have to experience it.
Yeah. So if it sounds any different than you're used to, that's because we are in a brand new studio. It's a little bit bigger, probably more cavernous. I'm not used to where the table is and smacking it and all of that stuff. So that's what's going on there.
There's going to be some growing pains.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty much what's kept us away for so long.
Was getting this set up.
Is getting this set up, yeah.
We moved and then we moved and our lives have been busy every single day since we've moved. So basically everything was just thrown about.
Crazy.
Yeah. Like it looked like a tornado had gone through the apartment. Just stuff everywhere, boxes open with just a few things taken out because we hadn't had time.
We were not, I wouldn't say gloating, but we were very proud of ourselves because we got the move done in a weekend. It was just down the street, so it really wasn't that big a deal.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have anything gigantic. Shout out to Tom for helping us move the couch. That's the biggest thing that we really needed help with. And, real proud of ourselves for getting this done in a weekend.
Yeah.
A little bit Friday night, but then Saturday and Sunday. And Saturday night, we slept here, right?
Yes.
Right. So, oh, yeah, that's great and all. But then come Monday morning when you don't know where anything for your daily routine is and what box it is and what room. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Very challenging.
It was. And then no time, between going to work and all our extracurricular activities that we always have going on, that we had no time to even put things where they needed to go for a couple of weeks.
It was a while.
Yeah. And the studio was the last thing, unfortunately, to get set up. And it's taken us almost a month to get it done. 3 weeks.
I pretty much was putting the final screws in right before we hit record.
That's right.
Basically, there's one of my favorite videos is Chicago's 25 or 624 live. And in the video, they're like, I don't know, reassembling the drum kit for an encore or something like that.
Yeah.
But they're putting it together as the guy starts playing. And that's just what kind of that felt like.
Yeah, it fits. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. So, moved down the street, a little bit bigger place.
Yeah.
It's nice to spread out a little bit more. Storage is really what we got out of it. So
that's right.
Other than that, we are prepping for the holidays. All the stuff we have had so much stuff, like Naomi mentioned. Do you think we could name off everything that we had going? I remember Battle of the Bands was one with Modern Rock 98.7 here in Wilmington.
Forgot about that. One
of the stations that I work for, and they did a really cool Battle of the Bands with some local bands. Shout out to the 3 finalists: Von Attica. It's you looked at me. That's why.
I did look at you.
The Queen's Giant and. You're not even going to Shallow Signals. That's what it is.
There you go.
You gave me that look like, oh, can you remember? And
that is exactly what that look was. I was like, you're really going to try to name all 3? Like, I just got done saying I forgot we even did that.
These bands were so good. Really cool and amazing live.
Yeah, they were.
I'm glad I didn't have to be a judge for that. But that was a really fun night.
Yeah.
We did a couple other things. I have no idea. We threw a beach day in there at some point.
We did. We did have a beach day in there. And then found out it was like some kite event going on during our beach day. Yeah. We went down there just to kind of sit and hang out and eat lunch or dinner or something like that. And it was like, why is there so many people here? And then we look over and there's kites everywhere. And I was like, oh, all right. This is going to be a fun day.
That was the coolest.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know what else we did, but every day we've had something.
Tons of stuff going on.
Yeah. Whether it's
skee-ball.
Our beer club or skee-ball or an event with some friends or work events that we have to be at.
We've had several.
Yeah. This or that or whatever. It's just been go, 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 which is great. I love being busy.
Heck yes.
But I'm also very tired.
Well, sitting down and listing it all out like that, it's like, holy damn. That's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Skee-ball, we were mentioning just a second ago. That's going fantastic. We just had our last week of the regular season.
Speak for yourself. Going fantastic.
Well, are you not having fun?
I'm having a blast.
So it's going fantastic.
This past week, I think, was like the worst game I've ever played, and I'm kind of sad about it.
May have been among my best.
Good for you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's fun. I love it. This is fun. We're having fun.
We're having fun. Yeah.
So that's great. Those playoffs are getting ready to start. Shout out to Wilmington brewskee-ball. If you haven't looked them up, definitely check that out because it's a lot of fun if you're in the area. Come out and play next Skeezin.
That's right. That's coming up shortly here.
Yeah, just
apparently
a couple of months.
They do a couple Skeezins a year, so that's awesome.
Yeah, really, really going to be cool. I got to move this chair. It's killing me. All right.
I'm looking forward to the next Skeezin. As much as I'm very angry with how this past week went, looking forward to everything else that's going on, all the playoffs and all of that, and playing again next season.
Yeah, and then figuring out how to get our studio set up properly in between. I just almost pulled the whole table over. That's was fantastic.
The desk just fell forward. The cords got caught. Lost my train of thought as all of that was happening.
Okay, apparently that's not happening right now. Okay, so also, like we said, Thanksgiving's coming up. We haven't had the computer set up in forever, so we haven't had a chance to get to editing any videos, but we do have a Sips and Snacks coming up for Thanksgiving, which is going to be...
amazing.
Say it again.
Amazing.
Okay, if you are familiar with Luke and Naomi, you know how much we love our foods. You know how much Naomi loves her foods.
That's right.
We have found just something amazing.
It's unbelievable. I think we can drop some hints about this. We absolutely can. So a big shout out to Flamin' Amy's Burrito Barn. That is where the snack side of our Sips and Snacks video came from. All right, Luke has mentioned that Thanksgiving is coming up. So apparently, something that Luke and I did not know, I cannot believe that it took us how many ever years of living in Wilmington, like 2 now?
Yeah, something like that.
For us to hear about this amazing thing.
The Turkey Changa.
A Turkey Changa.
Do you remember all the stuff that's in it?
No, there's some turkey in there. There's some jalapeno cornbread stuffing. There's garlic mashed potatoes. I don't know what else is in there.
I think that's it for the inside.
But it's a turkey chunga. So it's a chimichanga, deep fried burrito. And then you get this cranberry salsa with it and this creamy jalapeno gravy.
Oh, it's amazing.
And it's just like Thanksgiving in every single bite.
Doesn't she sound like she's remembering it as she's talking about it?
Oh, I can picture it in my head.
That's why I was hoping you could remember what was in it because, again, if you know Luke and Naomi, you know when Naomi's in love with the food.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so first of all, let me just say, I'm going to be completely honest here. I thought it was going to be a little overrated.
Yeah.
I really did. Don't get me wrong. Flamin' Amy's Burrito Barn is one of my favorite spots. I love that place. Those burritos are absolutely amazing.
For real. And this thing is legendary in certain pockets of Wilmington. If you know Flamin' Amy's, chances are you're, a Turkey Changa fan. They're only out for a few weeks a year and all of that.
Yeah. And Thanksgiving, turkey, all of that. I'm sorry, but I think it gets a little bit more credit than it should all the time. Because don't get me wrong, I like turkey and whatever, but I'm good with the Thanksgiving meal. I don't need leftovers. I'm done. I don't care anymore.
Right.
So I thought, everyone's going nuts for this. I bet you it's tasty, but who cares? I was so wrong. I was so wrong.
When I finally read the ingredients list, I was like, oh, I'm here for it. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's deep fried. For Pete's sake.
Why wouldn't you like it?
Of course.
This was the best. I'm going to say this is the best chimichanga that I had. Ooh. I know it's a turkey changa, but it was so stupid good. And then on top of it, we brought those bad boys to Fermental and brought one for Ashley to help us pair beer and wine with it.
So that's our next Sips and Snacks coming soon.
Hopefully this week because we're running out of time and I want
we really are.
You guys to be able to see this and enjoy it and even if you live somewhere where you can't get the turkey changa, at least you can get that beer and wine and have it with your Thanksgiving dinner and have something similar, but it definitely ain't going to be as good.
Well, I know. I think we're going to end up getting a bottle of the wine again, like another bottle of the wine. And I'm pretty sure if we can find, that beer or similar, it's a, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's a beer that I would probably never pick on my own.
Right.
And it really surprised me. Ashley is always dead on with these pairings. He hasn't missed one yet.
No, hasn't steered us wrong.
So, you got to check it out. When we get it up there, if you're a subscriber on the YouTube, you'll get a notification immediately.
That's right. And then check out the other videos that are up there. And I do apologize that the zebra cake video that we talked about is not up there. Did not get that finished editing before we took down the studio. So you'll have to wait a little bit longer for that one. But that one's coming too.
That's all right, though.
There's another one in between all that. So we've got a bunch of videos. So save some dollars so you can stock up on some beer and wine and snacks and then watch the video.
Nicely put. I like that.
Yeah.
Well done. Sips and snacks. We got a couple of good ones coming, really. Check it out on YouTube and subscribe while you're there so you get that notification when we get it posted and all that. And we'll also post it on Luke and Naomi on Facebook as well. Luke and Naomi On-Air, all the channels, everywhere. So that was the last couple of weeks of everything
craziness
going on. Another thing that happened recently is something I love bringing up every time. I think it's the second year, because this is the second year we've been doing the podcast version of Luke and Naomi now, that we've done it here. We always talked about it on air when we were out west on Luke and Naomi in the morning, the Toy Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I can't remember. Did we do the nominees,
we did.
The finalists?
We did.
Okay.
We went over everything that we thought should have been in there a long time ago and things that should not be considered toys.
Yeah, so the finalists were the Little Tykes Red Car, Connect 4, Choose Your Own Adventure Games, Slime, Bop It, Bingo, Battleship, Nerf, Fisher-Price.
Yeah, because we got in an argument about Bingo, because I was like, yeah, that should be in there. And you're like, no, that's what Grandma plays.
Bingo is a
toy.
Is a church lady game.
Yeah.
So what's it? Nerf, Cabbage Patch Kids, and baseball cards. Those are all of the nominations this year. Last year they inducted Light Bright, Spinning Tops, and He-Man toys, Masters of the Universe. And this year the new inductees are, I wish I had a drum roll, and I'm not going to go get one because there we go. I love it. Very committed. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Baseball cards.
Yay.
I know it, right? Unless you're putting those in the spokes of your bicycle to make it sound like a dirt bike, it's not really a toy, is it?
Nah.
And then, if you had baseball cards in my house, my dad was like, save them, put them away, don't touch them. Right?
Yeah.
So how the hell is that? Anyway, Cabbage Patch Kids debuted in 1982.
Okay.
Staple toy. I think it's a deserving, I think, induction. Nerf made the cut.
Finally.
Nerf inducted. The first Nerf product was a 4-inch foam ball. Parker Brothers sold it in 1970. They built it as the world's first official indoor ball.
Cool.
Which was Nerf my whole life. Playing indoors. It's so much fun. The Fisher-Price corn popper. Isn't it supposed to be a vacuum cleaner? You know what I'm talking about? The push toy.
Yeah, but no, that's not a vacuum cleaner.
The corn popper. I'm pretty sure there's a Simpsons bit, because of course there is, where Milhouse is talking about playing with the corn popper, and Bart's like, first of all, it's a vacuum cleaner.
Okay.
So I think there's some debate there. But anyway,
it's not a vacuum cleaner.
It wasn't actually nominated, though. They inducted it as a bonus in honor of the Hall of Fame's 25th anniversary. It's like a forgotten toy category.
Okay.
So, yeah, there you go. So I just love the Toy Hall of Fame. That's the stuff that got inducted this year.
It?
And every year, there's only 4 every year. And every year there's something like baseball cards or friggin' bingo.
That
makes
little
the cut.
red car. Tykes.
Little Tykes, yeah. The little red car. That
didn't make the cut?
That's
kind of sad.
It will.
Aww.
That's one that is gonna hang around and make it in.
It's gonna take it years and years. It's gonna take it like 50 years, and then by the time it gets put in there, all the next generations and all that are gonna be like, "What the hell is that?"
I know it, right?
They're not even gonna know.
Well, it's weird because there's some newer stuff on the list of nominations.
Yeah.
I mean newer in the grand scheme of toys. Like Slime is sort of a newer toy. I remember Nickelodeon GAC when I was a kid, but we didn't really have Slime. I don't think. Did you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, yeah. So Slime's newer, but the old stuff, Connect 4. People are playing Connect 4 in bars all over the world. They got the big giant plastic ones and stuff like that's going to make it, I think.
Absolutely. But little tykes, the red car
Yeah.
is going to be obsolete. I mean, all the kids are driving the
Power wheels.
Power wheels now,
Yeah.
And they're going fast.
Yeah, they better get that car in there. So next year I want to see the car. I want to see Connect 4 and Battleship.
Yeah, Battleship belongs in there. Yeah.
What Battleship version did you have?
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
Did you have the electric one that talked to you?
No.
You just had the old
old school one that you can cheat.
I had electronic talking Battleship. We figured out a way to cheat with that one anyway.
Well, of course you did. Not surprised.
How many group texts do you have going on your phone right now?
Oh, gosh. Unfortunately, I'm going to blame work for most of this, that I have a whole bunch because of work. I don't know, probably about 12 to 15 right
about
now.
19 from Beer Club.
Yeah, those go off.
Or at least I do. Yeah.
I'm part of a bridal shower now. So that's new and interesting. Not used to that.
Shout out to Valerie and David.
That's right.
So I have a ton as well. I have one from friends back in New York. I have one from people in New Mexico. I have one and I'm not exaggerating. I'm trying to be honest. There's at least 5 for Beer Club here.
Yeah.
I have one with siblings. There's just so many all over the place. The work ones and all of that stuff. So we need some rules for group texts.
Yes, we do.
Found these, wanted to see what you thought. Somebody posted them online and all of that stuff. Number 1 rule, don't add too many people. 6 is ideal, should never be more than 12. I have 3 that are like 15 people deep at least.
Yeah. I can agree with that rule. Yeah.
Maybe 8. After 8 is just too many texts. People don't stay on topic. You get, crazy off onto tangents. Memes start flying. Now all of a sudden you're being absurd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Additions to group chats must be approved by the group and the person that you're adding.
Makes sense. I don't think I've ever gotten to the situation really where somebody else was being added into this. Not that I know of anyways.
I just hey, I'm going to add you to a group chat with a bunch of people would be a nice heads up instead of I get a text with 19 people. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a work thing for sure, I think. Respond whenever you want. That's another rule. But you feel the pressure to respond right away, right?
Well, I mean, especially with a group chat where it's trying to make plans or figure things out, it feels like you have to respond right away because it's like we're trying to get plans together.
Usually a lot of pressure.
Yes, there is. Plus, the phone just keeps ding, 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 ding. Like, after the 18th ding, you're like, I gotta do something.
Yeah, for real. But
throw it out a window.
This thing says there should be a 48-hour grace period.
Okay, that's too much. By that point, I'm thinking that you're not a part of this. I'm gonna just delete you.
That's a lot, right? Two whole days, and then you're gonna respond to a text that I sent 2 days ago. Like, come on.
Oh, I'm sorry I missed this earlier. Oh, you wanted to go out last night. My bad.
Just a couple of more of these. Making fun of Android users for the green bubble is allowed. So apparently somebody who's an iPhone person wrote this. Whatever. Limit the amount of memes you send. No more than 4 memes or GIFs in a short period of time. So you still get a handful.
Okay.
Which is probably too many. Once the memes and GIFs start flying, it's just now the conversation's off the rails and nobody's paying attention anymore. Mm-hmm. If there's more than 2 memes in a group text for me, I do the mute thing. I was like, okay, they're not talking about anything serious. Never respond with just the word ha. That is more of a general text thing, though.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that because that just looks bad.
It does. It seems passive aggressive, like you don't really care. Yeah. Whatever. At least 2 ha's as a rule. And finally,
I feel like you need even more than that. I think it needs to be 3 all connected. Ha ha ha.
If that's the only response, it's got to be 3 ha's.
Yeah. You can't just do ha ha.
Right.
Like that's still passive aggressive.
That's the same as just one in that situation.
Yeah.
And the last one I think is maybe the best one of all. If it is a group work-related group chat, no texting on weekends.
Yeah.
Everybody's work-life balance is stressed enough as it is. We don't need,
hey, just want to remind you guys on Monday, this is what we're doing. Yeah, get out of here. Get out of my house. No.
And one more just ridiculous thing. Something recently happened, reminded me of this, so I want to break this out. 8 embarrassing moments most of us can relate to. Number 1 on the list, tripping or falling in public. 93% of people, according to a 15,000 person survey, replied that they have tripped or fallen in public within the last week. 93% of people.
Are you reading this on purpose?
I brought this up just because I wanted to make you feel better.
Okay, well,
15,000 people.
Luke is saying that because I got home from work today and I had a little, my sad face, my bottom lip sticking out and everything. And I looked at him and I went, I fell today. He was like, what? I'm like, I fell. I ate concrete today.
Falling as an able-bodied adult is just, it's tragic. Little kids
really
fall.
is.
It's like, oh, haha, get up, dust yourself off.
Yeah.
But, an older person falls, it's like kind of, that's scary. You're getting nervous. But, an able-bodied person is just.
From the ages.
It's just crazy.
Being not drunk. From the ages of like 21. No, let's even say like from the ages. No, 21 works. Okay. From 21 to about 50, 45, somewhere in there.
I push it to 60, 65 even. But
I don't know. At those points when you fall, it's more of just sad. It's just sad.
Like, oh, that adult fell down.
Yeah. The worst part about this.
You can't even laugh because it's like, oh my God, they're going to be so mortified.
This happened earlier today to me. No joke. Like, legit happened today. And, of course, I fell in front of somebody. Stepped off the curb weird. Rolled, like, my ankle a little bit. Scraped up my leg.
Is the ankle okay? Because you showed me the scrapes. How's the ankle?
The ankle is a little sore, but not as sore as my pride and all of that. Because I was in mid-conversation with a UPS driver. And just that small talk, whatever, and mid-sentence just fell onto my knees and my wrist. And I must have paused for a good, 2 seconds before I looked up at him and was just like, what the hell just happened? And he's going, oh, man, are you okay? Now, he didn't reach his hand out or anything, which tells me that I'm young enough that he knew that I did not need help, and him doing that probably would have been more awkward. But also at the same time, just like, man.
You just ate shit, right? In the mid-conversation. You told me it was in front of somebody, but I didn't realize it was mid-conversation with the man.
Yeah. And he tried to make me feel better. And he's like, man, I do that at least twice a week. I'm just running up the stairs too fast or whatever. And I'm like, thanks, man, but it's okay. You don't have to try to make me feel better. It's cool. I'm still stunned by it, if you can't tell.
Because, it is like, how the hell?
How did I forget how to walk? How does that happen? How do you
Absolutely
just fall? Nuts. So, my pride hurts. My knee hurts a little bit. My ankle hurts.
I don't want to talk to the FedEx man ever again.
No, oh my gosh. I'm going to be hiding from that guy for forever.
So anyway.
I don't want him to see me again.
15,000 people surveyed. 93% of them has had it happen to them.
In the last week.
So I just wanted to make you feel a little bit better. You're not alone. You're not alone.
It doesn't really help. I'm not going to lie to you there.
It doesn't really, I'm sorry. No. That I can't do anything about.
No, I just got to get over it.
All right, let's get to random facts because, you don't have to keep talking about this. I'm sorry.
I don't want to.
I'm sorry. That's hilarious, though. All right, some random facts, your weekly dose of Did You Know? Hope these are good enough. I liked them.
We'll see.
Did you know there's a town in western Pennsylvania called Donora? I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. Donora, with only 4,800 people. But two of the greatest baseball players who ever played were born there.
Cool.
50 years apart. Stan Musial in 1920. You ever heard of Stan Musial?
No.
Okay. And Ken Griffey Jr. was born in 1969.
Okay.
Have you ever heard that name?
No.
I didn't think so. Naomi, not a baseball person at all. Did you know on Gilligan's Island, it's not clear if Gilligan was his first or last name. They never addressed that. He was always just called Gilligan.
That's fine. He goes by one name basis, like Cher, Adele.
I didn't think of it that way. If you had to though, what would you think it is? His first or last name? I think it was his first name.
I was gonna say last.
Were you?
Believe it or not.
I don't know why, but let's all find somebody who doesn't know what to name their baby and make them name it Gilligan, because that would be awesome.
Okay.
Gilligan Johnson.
I don't know. I don't know.
It'd be fantastic. I love it. Did you know Elton John's real name is Reginald Kenneth Dwight?
No.
And also, did you know when he changed it to Elton John, he gave himself a new middle name?
Okay.
Hercules.
No.
Absolutely.
Get out of
here. Isn't that fantastic? I love Elton John. It's just awesome. And last one, did you know LOL... wow. Okay. Rewind. Did you know LOL started back in the 1980s when a Canadian teenager named Wayne Pearson used it on a bulletin board system? It was like an early form of internet chat rooms.
Okay.
And a friend said something funny. He says, instead of trying to type out really quickly, that made me laugh out loud. He just sort of typed LOL. The friend asked what it meant. He told them. It caught on. They spread through there, and it's been a thing.
Kept growing and growing and growing.
And here, just like all the other youth, I thought my generation invented it.
That's right. Everybody thinks that. Yeah.
How about that? We actually did have a question up on our Facebook page.
I don't even remember.
Everybody. Do you remember? You don't remember what the question was at all?
No, have no idea.
All right. Then this is how long ago we did our last episode, too.
It's been a while.
Posted on October 11th.
So over a month.
Yep. Fill in the blank. Fall isn't fall without what?
Falling.
Oh my God, nailed it. We don't even need to read the rest. That's not even funny. That's hilarious.
It's been a day. It's been a week. It's been a freaking month. Like, I've been out of sorts, and I believe it's because we haven't been doing the podcast.
Probably.
My schedule's all ruined
It
now.
It is.
Yeah.
I felt like there's something missing and all of that stuff, and so...
It's this.
Well, we're back.
Okay.
Back, except for, I don't know what's going on with next week with Thanksgiving. So we'll figure that out. Yeah. But, hold on to your
back.
butts.
Yeah, we're here. Just all over the place. All right. I want some answers.
Let's see here.
Fall isn't fall without what?
Snowman says, fall isn't fall without the license plates changing colors in Phoenix. I don't know what that means.
People
Snowbirds?
from out of town coming to Phoenix to check out everything, and it's not boiling hot, so regular people can survive.
That would be my guess.
Yeah.
Snowbirds, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully we got that right. Right? Snowman.
If we're wrong, you'll have to correct us next week.
Right on. Let's see here. Let's see. Big B says, teenagers being punished for drinking, drugs, and premarital sex. I mean, that'd be every season, right?
Yeah, but I'm sure you get that a lot in fall, too.
Okay.
I feel spring, like homecoming. No, prom season.
Yeah,
spring.
That would be the one. You said fall isn't fall without falling.
Yeah.
Well, Chick said fall isn't fall without landing.
Okay.
Okay, very literal from everybody so far. Chuck says trees, just trees. Fall isn't fall without trees.
Okay. Trees changing and the leaves falling.
I'm with you, Chuck. That's how I feel about summer. Just
trees?
Just not summer without trees.
Okay.
Juan says drinking a good batch of cider with friends around a fire pit overlooking the lake at Grandpa's mountain getaway.
Aww.
Juan knows us very well because that is an amazing picture to paint there, Juan. I like that one. That's my favorite one so far.
You know what? I haven't had apple cider yet this year, and that's all I want now after hearing that. I want some apple cider.
Apple cider.
Yes.
All right.
I love apple cider.
I prefer juice. I just not with apple cider.
Well, you can get some juice, and I'm gonna get myself some apple cider.
All right. I may
and
have
enjoy fall.
Let's see here. Paul says literal colors.
Okay.
Mean pumpkin spice.
Of course.
Yeah. Exactly. Richard says beautiful picture. Oh, thank you, Richard.
What was the picture of?
Just fall. It was
okay.
just, a picture I got on the internets.
Okay.
Let's see here. Bitch and Dan says pumpkin beer. Fall isn't fall without pumpkin beer. I could do without, though.
Yeah, but coming soon on one of the Sips and Snacks video, Luke has a beer that has pumpkin in it. But you have to wait and watch that.
It was good.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. When that gets posted, you'll find out how much I liked it and what kind it was.
That's right.
There's a lot of reasons that I actually like that. Mark says fall isn't fall without apple pie moonshine.
Yeah. We got some of that this fall when we went to the beach.
That's right. Or Entenmann's pumpkin pop'ems. No, thank you.
No.
And he says, and strictly for humor, and since it seems everything else is, pumpkin spice flavored condoms.
That's disgusting.
Okay, Mark. That's pretty gross. Let's see. Fall isn't fall. Randy says without seasonal depression.
Aw. How fitting.
Randy's from Ohio, so he knows.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he definitely knows.
Man, that time change, and I know everybody complains about the time change. It's just what we do as humans. You complain about the time change. But it is so sad coming home and it's dark out.
I mean,
It's so sad.
It's crazy.
I love getting up and that it's, daylight. It's bright enough outside. But
I've said for years, I would rather it be dark out on my way to work. When I get to work, the sun will rise as I'm waking up at work.
Yeah.
That'll be fine. But
if I've got to pick between the two, give me a little bit of light after work so that I don't
feel like you have to go to bed in 5 minutes.
Yes.
Because that's honestly the feeling. That's why we all hate it.
Yeah.
Because that just is such a bummer. But whatever. Anyway, who did that to us? Yikes.
Randy. Thanks a lot.
All right. And finally, our last one. Well, not our last one. Brian says, fall doesn't fall without knockers. Knackers? Conkers. That's what it is. Conkers.
What?
Knockers.
Wait a minute. Explain yourself.
Yes. So Brian from England says, fall isn't fall without conkers. Now, he sent me a link to Wikipedia. It's a traditional children's game in Great Britain and Ireland played using the seeds of horse chestnut trees.
Okay.
The name conker applied to the seed and to the tree itself. The game, played by two players, each with a conker threaded onto a piece of string. You take turns striking each other's conker until one breaks. So you're kind of like whipping.
Interesting.
It feels like you'd be like whipping it at the other one or something like that.
Yeah.
Conkers. All right. Every fall. That's you Brits are awesome. I gotta tell you.
Yeah. That's
fantastic.
Very interesting.
Thank you, Brian, too. It had been a while. We posted this in October. Brian's probably like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What do you got? He doesn't do the Facebook, so he's just waiting.
Oh, that's right.
So thank you for waiting, and thank you for sharing all the British stuff too. We love it. We love.
I promise we didn't die. Like, I hope you find this new episode and know that we're still here.
I do believe he subscribes somewhere. So.
Okay.
And the last one, though, I saved because of Ashley Rogers of Fermental and our Sips and Snacks partner. He says, fall isn't fall without way too many pumpkin beers taking spots of really good normal beers.
Nice.
And
great answer.
The perfect way to say that.
Yes.
Now that fall's been over for like several weeks if you live in the north.
That's right. Sorry, you Yankees. That probably sucks.
Sorry, Yankees. That's great.
Every once in a while, too, like especially if we get a really nice day where it's like 75 here, I just flip through my weather app because I have saved the temperature like all of that stuff for Michigan, where my family is. I still have it for Ilion, where Luke and I spent time, where Luke's from. And I always look at the weather and I go, oh, it looks like it's going to snow there. That sucks.
Yeah.
It's going to be 75 today.
And then we complain about being dark and 70 degrees outside.
Well, at least we got the warmth.
Yeah. I love it. All right, that's going to do it for I was going to say last week's question, but technically last month's question.
That's right.
Fall isn't fall without blank.
We gave you a whole month to come up with those answers.
Yeah, we did.
Good job.
So, for next week, or next episode, let's just put it that way. So for next episode, I was scrolling on Twitter. I'm not calling it X. I hate being that guy, but I just am, and I don't care anymore.
I'd rather you didn't because that's stupid.
It just is.
It's still Twitter. Like, I don't care who you are. It's Twitter.
I rose by any other name, but I'm still not calling it X. It's just not happening. So I was scrolling through Twitter, and there's a couple of accounts I follow that are just for fun and all of that. And the one dude posted this question. I said, you know what? I am absolutely grabbing this for Luke and Naomi On-Air next episode. What is the funniest name for a pet you've ever heard of?
And I want stories with this. If you can tell me, my cousin had this dog and we named him Pepto because one time he got into the Pepto-Bismol.
Right.
Yes, tell me those stories. I love it.
Tell anyone. And, the human pet names are always my favorite.
Oh, yeah, like when you have a dog named David or something.
I once
get
met
out of
an
here.
orange cat named David.
Nice.
No joke.
Yes.
Knew an orange cat named David. Yeah. So, any of that. Come with it. Looking forward to the funniest name for a pet you've ever heard of.
Yes, please.
And DOG is not a funny pet name. Just want to put that out there.
DOG.
Yeah.
Okay.
DOG.
Yeah.
But DOG.
Oh, okay. I get it. Yes.
So, it's clever. It was clever, years and years and years ago, but it's not funny.
You're tired of it now?
Yes.
Okay.
An orange cat named David is hilarious.
It is. I like the people names for pets because I think it's silly.
Also, cuss word names would be great.
Yeah.
I love those.
Works.
Those are fantastic too. So
all I can think of right now is The Office, of course, and Dwight's cat, Garbage. We call him Garbage because he likes to eat garbage.
That's right.
And the way he says it is like the nicest version of Dwight you ever see.
He's trying to be all cutesy.
To eat garbage.
You get like the paw and stuff.
Yeah.
That's fantastic because he likes to eat garbage. So let us know on the Facebook page, Luke and Naomi on air. We'll have it there. I put it on the YouTube. You can comment there as well.
That's right.
And on Spotify, you can below if you're listening on Spotify. Looking forward to these answers. That should be hella fun.
Interesting.
Definitely interesting. Okay, it has been a while.
It has.
I couldn't find the button, so we have a new button.
What are we gonna do?
Nothing. There's no button. Here we go.
Wow.
It is time. It is time.
I think it's still ringing.
I'm looking forward to. I know the new studio is it's hollow basically. Yeah. It's we gotta get this stuff padded up like a bass drum. Put the blanket in there.
We'll figure it out.
Something like that. Anyway, it is time for Naomi's Under a Rock review of Return to Oz. Had been a hella long time since I've seen this one myself, but oh boy. I remember the Wheelers, of course. Everybody remembers the Wheelers and the crazy queen lady with the heads and all of that stuff.
Princess Mambi.
I could not wait to show Naomi this movie and had the hardest time. Of all the movies we've done, 30, 40 plus at this point, this is the one that I wanted to tell you things about before and wanted to ask immediately afterwards. So please, without further ado,
jump into this.
Naomi's Under a Rock review of Return to Oz.
Whew. All right. What a ride. Let's start with that.
Yeah.
What a ride. All right. So it starts with Dorothy. She's back, different Dorothy, but it's cool. Not being able to sleep since the tornado. We all know what happened in Oz, and if you don't, go watch Oz first, because I'm not getting into all that.
If you don't know The Wizard of Oz, you live under a bigger rock than Naomi.
That's right, and that's saying a lot.
Yes.
So her aunt and uncle think she's crazy talking about Oz and are going to send her to get, electric shock therapy.
Yikes.
This is 1900, so yeah, that's what you do.
The fancy new doctor's office in town.
That's right.
That's basically what they said.
So Dorothy ends up finding a key in the field and believes it's from Oz and that her friends are in trouble there. So she's finding this key. She shows it to her aunt. Her aunt's just like, oh my gosh, she's legit crazy right now. So they take her to see this doctor where she's going to have to stay overnight. But honestly, it sounds like they're going to keep her there actually for a while. I don't think they're going to just do the shock therapy once. This is a insane asylum.
It was sinister as hell, right? They gave you a good feeling of sinister.
Yeah, some bad things are gonna happen. She's gonna get locked up for good, and this is just where she lives now. All right. So anyways, I think they're gonna keep her there for a while. It looks like an insane asylum. They take away her lunch that her aunt made for her, which I feel really just shows how cold and awful this place is going to be. No, you don't need that. We'll feed you. She's taken to her room, and while in there, a little girl appears and brings her a pumpkin because apparently it's almost Halloween. The girl seemed to have appeared out of nowhere and then just vanished, so I'm guessing Dorothy will end up seeing her when she returns to Oz. Spoiler alert, she does. The head nurse comes back and asks Dorothy if she wants to go for a ride. It's like this gurney, and there's straps on it, so that's promising.
Yeah, right.
Real
yeah,
promising.
looks fun.
You want to go for a ride? No, please.
She said, didn't she ask, can I sit up, please? And they're like, no.
Yeah, exactly. They wheel her into this room with the machine that's going to do the shock therapy, and they have these metal headphones that she's going to have to wear, which just nope. I was like, they're not going to shock her. They're going to end up killing her.
Yeah, right.
This just looks wrong on so many levels. But anyways, they're just about to start the treatment, and the power goes out because there's a lightning storm going on. So the doctor and the head nurse leave Dorothy to go get everything back up and running. Then the little girl that dropped off the pumpkin earlier that just appeared and disappeared out of nowhere comes by, takes the headphones off, and takes off the straps to rescue Dorothy because they had strapped her down in that bed. They take off running while the head nurse ends up seeing that they're, running away and is trying to catch them. Also, by the way, the head nurse reminds me a lot of the evil witch in the first Wizard of Oz movie.
Yeah.
Definitely feel like they did that on purpose, but so far this has been a pretty weird movie.
Like with the black outfit and all of that stuff. Yeah, totally.
I'm trying to keep an open mind with this movie, but I already feel like this was a movie where the sequel was definitely not needed. We'll see. All right. So Dorothy and the little girl escape, kinda. They end up in this river, and the little girl tells Dorothy to hold on to this like wood pallet thing, and then she magically disappears again. Dorothy falls asleep because that's what you do in a raging river. You just go to bed.
Just nod off.
Yeah, it's cool. It's fine. Dorothy falls asleep, and when she wakes up, her chicken Bellina is there talking to her. So earlier in the movie, you know, she goes on this hunt with Bellina because she won't lay any eggs and is looking around and whatever. Bellina, her chicken, it just apparently is going to Oz with her. So she wakes up and the chicken is talking to her. Like, no, really, that's what happened. So apparently I guess she's back in Oz now. And the rocks have eyes and report back to someone. Can't be the evil witch, though, because she melted.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so.
What a world.
Yeah. Rocks talking and reporting back. All right.
You're in Oz.
Yeah, they find a lunch pail tree
Love it.
to get some food. Cute idea. Still weird.
Kind of weird. Ham sandwich.
Yeah, I know. I should have tried one of the other pails. See if there's turkey in there, or maybe even chicken. Scare Bellina, whatever.
Just torture the chicken.
I don't know. Just listen. I don't like that the chicken is her companion. I really bumped up against that for most of the movie.
Where the hell is Toto? Like, I get that, you know, he couldn't follow her, but like, you could have probably written in a way for Toto to show up. The chicken showed up out of nowhere. You could have had Toto be there.
But why the chicken? Why the chicken? I mean, I get it plays its part in the end, but no, I don't care. Like, a talking chicken being her companion throughout this movie was just absolutely ridiculous. All right, anyway, so Dorothy is with the chicken.
Dorothy and the chicken.
Dorothy and the chicken. So stupid. She finds her old house. The one that got dropped in Oz during the tornado.
Oh yeah, the one she rode to Oz.
Yeah. She notices the yellow brick road has been destroyed, so she follows it to Emerald City to see that the city is actually in pretty rough shape. The people have been turned to stone, including the Tin Man and the Cowardly Lion, that look nothing like the Tin Man and the Cowardly Lion.
That I don't get. Like, okay.
I had a real problem with that in this scene and in the end of the movie.
So I
ruined it.
What I don't know is, like, was there trademark on the original costumes? Were they destroyed? Had you never seen the original movie? Were you going? There's a possibility that maybe, you know, these are more true to the original illustrations from the books or some junk like that. I don't know.
I don't know. I do know because I had to do some digging. This movie made me have to do research afterwards,
which is awesome.
Because I know there were some issues with the ruby red slippers where, like, they had to pay big bucks to use them in the second movie.
Okay.
So probably there's probably something where you can't use these costumes. You can't use this. This was my creation, my making. You've got to create your own.
Yeah, which is
would be my guess with that. Especially paying so much money for stupid red shoes.
Again,
that's right. I said it.
Think about the Tin Woodsman's outfit in the first. I mean, the dude's normal face with like a costume you would make. You know, basically, it was pretty rough. As was the Cowardly Lion, and the Scarecrow was just like guys dressed up. I mean, the costumes probably didn't survive. Honestly, if you think about it, whenever the hell that movie was made.
1939, I believe.
Judy Garland and all that. Yeah. So 39 to, what was this done in 81?
80 something, yeah.
You know, something like that. I mean, they didn't think to say, it wasn't a franchise world like it is now, you know, where they're...
Which is fine, but I think they could have done better.
They probably could have.
Because not only were those costumes rough, but they were creepy.
A little bit.
It was the creepy version of everything. This movie was the creepy version of everything.
This movie is the creepy version of everything.
And again, had to do research after this. Found out, okay, this one, I guess, follows the books closer. Cool. I don't want that. I really don't. The Wizard of Oz is a classic movie.
Yeah.
I don't care about the book. It's a classic movie.
It is.
And then you put a sequel, the movie sequel, and ruined it. Just absolutely ruined it. I don't care if it's closer to the books. No. It's ruined. That's right. I'm, ruining what I think about the movie already. If you can't tell, didn't care for it. All right. Anyway, so we meet the stone version of the Tin Man and the Cowardly Lion in their terrible costumes, but they're stuck in stone. There's graffiti. I'm back on my rant about Emerald City being destroyed. There's graffiti that says, "Beware the Wheelers." And these weird creatures with wheels for their hands and feet show up and start
Wheelers.
chasing her and the chicken. At this point, I'm pretty sure Dorothy is actually crazy. Between the little girl that would disappear and now the Wheelers that surprisingly sound like the Gurney Wheels. Like she is nuts and Oz doesn't exist.
Oh.
Sorry. Anyway, she ends up escaping from the wheelie things and finds a metal man who is going to protect her and help her get through this dystopian version of Oz now. He protects her from the wheelie things by putting the lunch pail in his hand and swinging it in a circle while the creatures just basically kind of run into him.
Well, they don't have hands.
Yeah, I guess, but they could drive around him. Like, figure it out. Move one way or the other. You can steer. You get around.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Way ridiculous. But anyways, it's cool. They all run into him like one at a time, and he basically takes care of all of them.
TikTok.
Except for one. Yeah, that's TikTok, the metal man. One of those creatures, they catch him, and they get all of these answers from him. Apparently, Gnome King is now in charge, and no one knows where the Scarecrow is. Well, some princess is supposed to know, so Dorothy and the Metal Man and the chicken go find the princess. Typical children's book now,
right? Yeah. All right, now we're back on track.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. They find this princess who actually happens to be evil and has a whole bunch of people's heads all locked up. And she takes one head off and puts a new one on and is kind of a little different, taking on like the personality of that person, kind of, sort of. She ends up locking Dorothy in a tower so that she can grow into her head, and then the princess will be able to take it. She's telling her, "You're pretty. You're not beautiful, but you're pretty. You'll work,
I want to interrupt quick and just interject the fact that, once again, this is a children's movie.
Yes.
Just wanted to throw that back out there. All the stuff Naomi's saying, if for some reason you didn't know, this is a children's movie.
Yes. But it was also the 80s, and children's movies in the 80s didn't make a lot of sense. Just saying.
No, they definitely did not.
All right, so we're in the tower. Dorothy got locked in there. Dorothy meets Jack Pumpkin. How creative of a name. Jack Pumpkin, who happens to be the pumpkin Dorothy's imaginary friend brought her when she was in the psych ward.
Yeah.
That's where that pumpkin comes from. Of course it is.
Coinky dink.
Jack insists on calling Dorothy Mom, which is just weird.
It's odd, right?
It's so weird. I don't like it.
Don't really? Okay.
Anyway, Dorothy and the pumpkin come up with this plan. They go get the metal man who ran out of juice earlier. They got to wind him all the time. They either got to wind his brain or wind his body.
Action?
Yeah, or wind his speech.
Yes.
Whatever. He's got all
his
that.
thinking, his speech, and his action.
Yeah. So they got to go get TikTok, the metal man, who ran out of juice earlier. They tell him the plan, and then they're off on their way. So apparently the plan was to steal the key from the princess. Princess got a key. Princess Mamby. She's got a key that opens up all these different doors with all the heads in it and all of that. They want to steal the key from her, open up the glass cabinet that has a specific head in it, like her original one. Jack Pumpkin knows which one's the original one.
The OG.
Yeah. And there's like some magic dust in there that turns unliving things into living things.
Yeah. Life powder, right?
Yep. So Dorothy went to go get the key while the pumpkin and the metal man start building this creature. Basically, the head of a moose, two couches pushed together. Whatever. It's a moose.
I know it.
It's a moose head.
Yeah.
Two couches pushed together. They kind of tie the couches together. They give it a tail. And And that way they can, make this creature come to life and probably give them a ride to the Gnome's Mountain so they don't have to walk.
Yeah, they use palm leaves to give it wings.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize that at this point. That comes back later because then I go, oh, they're going to fly instead of walking.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So that's exactly their plan. Dorothy steals the key, opens the cabinet with the powder of life in it, of course, wakes up the head that happened to be locked in that cabinet, which in turn, very creepy scene, makes all the heads wake up. And it's this loud, crazy, almost scary scene where the heads are all like yelling and they're calling her name. And then you have the headless body stumbling around, trying to catch Dorothy. It's just weird. And it's an intense, 15 seconds.
It is.
I don't like it.
Imagine watching it when you were 10.
I probably would have nightmares. Probably be scared of a lot more things than I already am. All right. So loud, crazy noises, all of that kind of stuff. Dorothy gets away. She's able to meet up with her friends in the creation, which apparently has palm branches as wings, so it can fly. They sprinkle the magic powder on it. It becomes alive. It flies out of the window just as the evil princess busts down the door. Then Dorothy takes a nap.
Because when Dorothy's in trouble, that's what she does.
Yep. And that's what I say, that's what you do in a situation like this.
I love it.
But that's exactly what she did. And then you've got this couch thing flying throughout the night.
Yeah. Yeah. It's perfect,
this
right?
Friggin' movie. I swear. All right. And I hate my notes on here because I can tell when I start getting sarcastic.
Oh, yeah. I figured we were going to get a little bit of a sarcastic streak from this one.
Oh, my gosh. My next line just says, Dorothy wakes up with the couch moose falling apart.
Couch moose. I like it.
What else am I supposed to call it? I can't call it Gump. That's just, no.
The Gump. I love it.
Oh, my gosh.
So the Gump's falling apart in midair.
All the ropes that are holding it together are coming undone. Jack ends up losing his head, Jack Pumpkin. So they're trying to save him, which is part of the reason of their demise. Jack, that's on you.
Just let him go.
Yeah.
Triage.
At this point,
yeah.
Sorry. Goodbye. Anyways, they try to save him, and all of this is happening. So, of course, the whole couch and everything is falling apart. They try to save him. Like I said, everything falls apart. They land in this desert or something. Okay, so it's the mountain that belongs to the Gnome King.
Yeah.
Or the mountain is part of the Gnome King. I don't get how it works. He's
it's
a bunch of
the Gnome
rocks.
King's mountain.
Yeah.
He dwells within.
Yeah. He appears and gives them a chance to find Scarecrow. Because remember, we couldn't find Scarecrow. That's the whole point of this mission. He's in charge of Oz. Oz has been in trouble. Where's the Scarecrow?
Yeah, he was the king of Oz. That's right.
So this Gnome King appears in the rocks and is basically hey, I'll give you a chance to find the Scarecrow. He's been turned into an ornament, but hey, there's a catch. You have to go into this room one at a time and guess which ornament is actually the Scarecrow. You'll each get 3 chances, and if you don't guess right, then you turn into an ornament and the next person goes in. And that's, what happens. They get 3 guesses.
That's just what happens.
Well, it is. Well, what else do you think is going to happen? Everybody's going to go in there.
They said no and went home.
Yeah, end of story.
End of movie.
The end.
Screw it.
Yeah. Well, we know she's crazy at this point. It's fine.
Right.
It can end however it's going to end. All right. So where am I in my notes? They get 3 guesses, or they turn into an ornament.
They're all just about to go in. Yeah.
All right. So I don't remember who goes in first. The moose.
The moose, yeah, the Gump goes in first because he would know.
Yeah, because he's been around the longest. Right? Yeah, this makes sense. He goes in, doesn't come back out, which means he guessed 3 times wrong, and now he's an ornament. Jack goes in, doesn't come out. Then TikTok goes in. While he's in there, the Gnome King, who becomes increasingly alive and less of just a rock formation, offers Dorothy the option to go home. At this point, she can leave. And she should. But...
She should.
She should.
Yeah,
we know she's not going to. Just wake up,
Yeah, right.
All right, but he offers Dorothy the option to go home, and he shows her the ruby slippers she lost. Because when everyone asks Dorothy, well, where are the ruby slippers that helped you get home, she says she lost them between going from Oz back to Kansas. Apparently, the Gnome King has them.
Somehow.
Shows him. Really weird because, again, he's a big rock formation and all of a sudden his feet come sliding out here and he's got ruby slippers on.
Ruby-clad feet.
Yeah. Interesting, but,
Very weird, too. Another weird scene.
It really was. But she refuses, of course, and she's going to save her friends before going home. I put her loss.
Her loss.
Told you. Get sarcastic.
Naomi was really into this one.
Yeah. So... Anyway, TikTok stalls out, and they send Dorothy in to wind him back up. It was actually a trick, though. He wanted her in there at the same time to see what ornament he's going to actually turn into to see if it would give her any clue to where the Scarecrow might be. And their plan actually works. They find out that the Oz characters turn into, like, emeralds or ornaments with emeralds on them, so Dorothy is able to save all her friends. Yay. All right, so Gnome King is mad and becomes a gigantic rock creature that breaks away from the rocks. I don't understand, but cool. So he becomes this gigantic thing and goes to eat Jack Pumpkin.
Yeah.
Because that's what a giant monster does.
Yeah.
I lost, I'm just gonna eat you. Belina.
The chicken.
I always want to call her Bellini, and I don't know why.
Belinda.
Maybe that's where it's coming from. I don't know. The chicken is hiding in the head of Jack Pumpkin, where she has spent some time. And apparently you can't have a chicken in Oz. Like, there's a whole ordeal throughout this. They brought a chicken,
Yeah. The Gnome King has outlawed chickens.
Yeah.
We don't know why.
Nope. And it's stupid.
And it's stupid.
It's stupid. So apparently the chicken still hiding in Jack Pumpkin's head, scared so bad that it lays an egg. Bring you back to Kansas, where the chicken wouldn't lay an egg.
Right.
Yay! It laid an egg, and just at the perfect time too, because apparently this is fatal, poisonous or whatever. Who knew? Eggs are poisonous to rocks.
Somehow.
Yep. So anyway, that's how they stop the Gnome King. Is the chicken lays an egg and he accidentally swallows the egg.
Yep.
And is like, oh my gosh, is that an egg or a chicken or whatever he does to freak out. And all I can think this entire time is, are you freaking serious? Like, this is going to be the demise of this giant rock creature.
That's how they take down the Gnome King.
I bet you, like, all I could think about is, the arguments with rock, paper, scissors. And it's like, yeah, of course, rock can beat scissors. And how does paper beat rock? Well, how does an egg beat rock here? Because that's basically what happened.
Well, is it better or worse than the first movie where, the witch was just taken down by water?
She melted. I don't know. Makes sense to me. It makes more sense to me than a rock being beaten by an egg.
There's no real explanation as to what the deal is. It's just chickens.
That's just
somehow.
what it is.
I mean, they could have been like, yeah, a bajillion years ago, some witch put a curse on the Gnome King that he can't have chicken or protein or some junk like that. At the very least, just mention it at the beginning or something. But yeah, you know what'll take him down? An egg.
I feel like they were just grasping at straws at that point. So like, something has got to take down the Gnome King. I know, the chicken that wouldn't lay an egg. Let's have it do it now.
This is based on a book, you said?
Yes.
Is it a coloring book?
Some little kid drew in the egg. It's not actually a part of the story.
What the hell? All right.
Yeah, so eggs are poisonous to rocks.
That's fantastic. I love it.
All right. Anyway, so that's how they stop the Gnome King. Dorothy gets the ruby slippers and wishes everyone back to Oz and have the town restored, which includes the Cowardly Lion, who is not the Cowardly Lion, and a lot creepier version in this movie. Same with the Scarecrow and, honestly, all the characters. But I already complained about that. Now, all the townspeople want Dorothy to be queen, but she says she has to go back home. Princess Ozma, which is some random character that Princess Mambi trapped in a mirror and is the mysterious girl that appears and disappears at the psych ward and
all of that.
Yeah, I feel like a few other times in the movie. She is the rightful leader of Oz, so she takes the throne and tells Dorothy she can come back anytime. Then, Dorothy is found in the woods outside the hospital where her uncle and aunt and Toto come rescue her. Her family informs her that the hospital burned down and the doctor died. What the hell? Again, that's what my note says. That's how I was feeling. That's about it. Princess Mambi, Princess Ozma visits Dorothy in a mirror at one point, but whatever, they tell her to keep Oz a secret, and that is basically the end of the movie. Boo.
Okay, so we know you didn't like it, and that is generally the first question we ask Naomi after.
And you didn't need to.
Her review, we did not need to. Is she crazy, or did she really go to Oz?
She's crazy. She's absolutely crazy, and I can prove it in multiple ways.
And prove it. You can prove it in multiple ways. I love it.
I can. The pumpkin, Jack Pumpkin, all of that stuff, like everything that happened in the hospital.
Why would how would she have gotten the pumpkin if she, was crazy? She just imagined the girl bringing her a pumpkin?
Yeah.
And then imagined.
Crazy people do crazy things.
Okay. Crazy people do crazy things.
Yep.
So we know you didn't like it. What did you know about Return to Oz beforehand?
Dorothy. She should be in this.
All right.
I honestly...
You didn't know anything?
No. But I assumed Dorothy was going to be a part of it. I actually assumed I would see more of the Cowardly Lion and...
the Scarecrow. And all your old friends.
Yeah, and how everybody's been doing as she returns to Oz. Not this sick, twisted, like, hey, Oz was all a dream and you're crazy. Let's return back to the craziness.
Definitely something different, right?
You're not wrong there.
Your thoughts going in?
Again, I thought this was going to be a cheerful kids movie. We're going to return to Oz. Life is going to be good. Maybe there's a little drama. Oz is in trouble and the flying monkeys are back or something, and you got to put a stop to something.
I like it.
But not a gnome king, and nobody looks the same, and the world has just ended there. And also that she's crazy.
What surprised you, I guess, is that would be the answer to what surprised you also.
Yeah, you
right?
can go with that. Yeah.
All of the above.
Yeah, the entire movie surprised me.
I think I know the answer to this one. Would you have liked it more or less if you saw it when you were younger? And I'm saying 8 to 10 years old because that has to be when we all saw it, like for the first time.
No. I would not like this
it's
movie.
It's nightmare fuel.
I don't think I'd ever like this movie at any age in my life.
The Wheelers were terrifying when I was a kid. Everybody remembers them as being scary.
I have to say that the actors that play the Wheelers do a phenomenal job.
Yeah, that is
probably the best acting in this movie is the Wheelers.
Yeah.
Because they are very creepy. And that laugh. Ooh, that laugh that they do. Ooh.
Then the headless lady. It's just nightmare fuel.
Uh-huh.
It just is.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Well, this is going to be tough. What was your favorite part?
Right. Favorite part. Well, I'm trying to keep an open mind. It wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen in my life, but it's pretty high up there.
I mean, it's a crazy movie.
I can't think of a scene that I actually think was a good part. Like, I didn't like the characters. I feel I couldn't stand like TikTok and the moose thing and the Jack Pumpkin and all that. Because again, I was expecting so much more. The Cowardly Lion and the classical lineup.
Yeah.
And this went down a completely different path. And again, I've read that this book actually stays closer to what the Oz books were like. But I don't like that.
Crazy.
I like the original movie.
I'm going to have to read these books.
I really
am kind of curious.
No way. So I honestly don't have a favorite part. I just didn't like it.
Okay. Easy. What was your least favorite part? This might be just as hard.
The whole movie? The moose couch. Like, that's just absolutely stupid.
The moose couch.
Like, you couldn't create something better.
Well, he was just a jerk, too. Like, he was, whined and complaining the whole time.
I don't know if I can turn. Well, you want to give it a shot because somebody's about to die.
The moose couch. I love it. All right.
Yeah, he's probably the worst. And, I mean, the egg taking out the Gnome King rock guy. Like, come on. That's so dumb.
It's pretty out there.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The whole movie, the whole book, the whole idea, Oz, is very
out there.
Far out there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But this took it from fantasy craziness to fantasy craziness.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
So next question. Would you recommend it to someone else who hasn't seen it?
This one, I'm probably going to say no.
Really?
Like, don't even waste your time with it.
Just listen to the review.
Yeah. I mean, if you're curious enough, sure, go for it. But I can't recommend this to anybody. I think this is one of the first ones, maybe the second one, that I just can't recommend.
I love it. We got to have some.
Do not waste your hour and 113 minutes of your life, almost 2 hours of your life watching this movie. Just don't do it.
Just don't do it.
No.
I love it. So you're not going to watch it again?
Absolutely not.
You're not going to stop and watch it if it's on TV?
No.
Even just to see like the Gump fall apart or the chicken thing or something like that?
Absolutely not.
All right. Are you? This is the last question. I love this. Are you happy you watched it? Let me rephrase. Are you happy that you now know this movie with the rest of the world?
Sure. Yes, I am happy about that. I wouldn't say that I'm happy I watched the movie. I'm okay with the fact that I have now seen this movie.
Well, now you're in the in whatever. You're in the club. You've seen.
That's right.
You've seen Return to Oz.
I've suffered through that.
That is fantastic.
Is there a third movie that we need to like put up posters and boycott?
I don't know if there's anything like old, but in 2012 or 13 they did Oz the Great and Powerful, James Franco, which is how the wizard got to Oz.
So the prequel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is watchable. I think Mila Kunis is in it too.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's a kid's movie, all of that, whatever. Anyway,
so was this, apparently.
Yeah, which is just absolutely absurd. Like, back to how crazy it is that this was a kid's movie. If you have never seen Return to Oz, despite Naomi's warnings, and you want to watch it, it is on Disney Plus.
Don't do it.
By the way, that's where we watched it with our Disney Plus subscription. So that was easy. At least we didn't have to pay for this, which I'm glad.
I would have been mad because a handful of the movies that we do, more than a handful, I'd say more than half at this point, we've had to pay for, whether it's Amazon Prime or whatever. We just don't have the subscription service for it, so we're paying for these movies. If we would have paid for this movie,
even if it was $4,
I think I would write a letter asking for my money back. You laugh, but I think this would be the first time that I would be that person.
It would have to be like a really long letter and purposely, goofy as hell and out there. Make exaggerated points about how it's ruined your psyche and stuff like that. Because that would make it worthwhile. Because if you're just going to complain.
Well, no, it's not going to be a short and sweet letter saying, "Hey, this movie sucked. I want my $4.99 back." No, I would go into some detail.
Coincidentally, Letters from a Nut by Ted L. Nancy is a full book of exactly those types of things.
Really?
Yes.
Is it like real people wrote the letters?
No, it's a crazy guy. Some people think that it's actually Jerry Seinfeld with the pen name because he wrote the foreword.
Okay.
And nobody knows who Ted L. Nancy actually is.
Okay.
So, yeah.
There's a possibility.
But it's great. Like, somebody went and wrote these insane letters like, I want to come to, a professional basketball game, but I have a medical condition where I have to have the back of my pants open. So I have all the equipment I can put down on the seat. I won't be touching my bare ass to your seat, but I just want to make sure it's okay because I'm going to be walking by people with my ass out.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is much more eloquent than that. It's very, it's written legitimately. And it's many, 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 many letters like this in a book collection. And the best part is the responses from the places that are actually trying to be professional.
Wait. So these letters were actually written and sent.
Yeah. And this is pre-internet when everybody just pissed and moaned online.
Yeah.
This was like he put a stamp on an envelope. So, Letters from a Nut by Ted L. Nancy. It's in our house.
All right.
Yeah.
I might have to look at that.
Letters from a Nut. Fantastic.
And write my own letter because I am a nut.
Hell, just reviewing that book was probably better than reviewing Return to Oz for you, I think, just for a second.
It really was.
Thank you for watching Return to Oz. This is one that, like, a couple of people I've mentioned it to. I was like, I might make Naomi do Return to Oz, and I've had the people go, oh, yes, that is such a bad movie.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
You have to have a couple of bad movies within all these movies. Because, again, it's the sharing of the experience. How many people watched that movie and just went, what the hell did I just watch?
Like my dad always said.
Except for at a younger age.
Misery loves company.
Yes, absolutely. So sometimes you have to do that even with these movies.
But can you imagine just,
miserable.
You're sitting at grandma's house over, Thanksgiving break or summer vacation or some junk like that, and just
grandma goes, you want me to put a movie on for you?
I mean, USA Network or something like that is where you would find this all the time. And it was just like Wizard of Oz and then Return to Oz. And it was like, what the hell? Oh, my God.
Let's watch this.
Oh.
Mom!
Craziness. Where the hell is the real Scarecrow?
Yeah, that was a bummer.
Anyway, good.
All right.
Great review. Great review.
It's time for the thought of the day.
Thought of the day. Thought of the day. It's your thought of the day. Thought of the day.
My thought of the day is don't watch that movie.
You could probably just leave it right there.
No, I got a good one. Here.
Return to Oz is a children's movie.
Most animals have never burned the inside of their mouth.
Whoa.
Well, that was a pretty good one. Make you think for a second.
Aminals.
Well, I wouldn't consider them lucky, but
I don't know.
Maybe in this situation. Cool. All right, Luke, you're going to leave us with a laugh.
I'm going to do my best if I can find where I wanted to leave off. All right. My wife told me sex is better on vacation. I wasn't expecting that on the postcard she sent from Greece.
Ooh, that sucks.
Womb is pronounced as W-O-O-M and tomb as T-O-O-M. It's only fair that B-O-M-B should go B-O-O-M. It really only works if you're reading it, I think.
Yeah, I forgot the letters already.
Yeah, I know it, right? How do you console an English teacher?
I don't know.
There, and there.
I don't like that one.
What are you guys pouring water into a glass?
I don't know.
Fill.
That's stupid. Don't even laugh at that one. Come on, man.
What do you call never mind. Dentist asked me if I smoke or drink coffee. I said I drink it.
Oh, okay, I get it. Took a second. Took a long second.
It took way too long.
Listen, I'm mentally exhausted. I watched Return to Oz, and then I had to relive that moment.
I love it. Fantastic.
That long moment.
Return to Oz on Return to Luke and Naomi On-Air. How about that?
Perfect.
Fantastic.
Like we did it on purpose or something.
Fantastic under a rock review. I love it. Not sure when the next episode's coming, but it sure as hell won't be a full month long. Yeah. Probably either next week or the week after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. But you will have some Sips and Snacks videos in between there, and we are going to keep up with those, and we've got plenty more to shoot because we've got plenty of snacks to
we've
get
got
to.
A growing. I don't think that list hasn't grown in the month that it's been since we recorded last.
But also, we're taking suggestions on that too, so you can always leave us a little note on Facebook or on YouTube or Spotify and be like, hey, my favorite snack is blank. I'd love to see a Sips and Snacks video on it. And hopefully we'll get to your suggestions too.
Heck yes. Absolutely would love suggestions. Movies as well, you know.
Always.
That list is ever growing. So if there's
we added some more after skee-ball on Tuesday.
Yeah, we every time we get talking about it with some people, they're like, oh, what about this? What about that? So always room for suggestions and stuff like that. Thank you so much for coming back for the 63rd episode of Luke and Naomi On Air.
Holy shit, we're getting old.
What is the funniest name for a pet you've ever heard on Facebook? Luke and Naomi On Air on Facebook, YouTube. We're everywhere you find your podcasts. You know the drill.
That's right.
All right, until episode 64, have some fun this week and be excellent to each other.
Love you, bye.